Hello, hello. We're setting it on fire. Hello, good afternoon, or good evening, I should say. This is Ed Wesley for the Club 100 radio show. And we are here to talk about money tonight. We're talking about, the subject is basically, should you be working for the money or should your money be working for you? And again, welcome to 100radiolive.com. I am Ed Wesley, your host. I am also the Chief Operating Officer for Steger Youth Development and Texas Superstar Youth Sports Group. It's been a long day. But in any event, we're here on behalf of Club 100, which is started and sponsored by 100radiolive.com in an effort to pull people together to network and to do business together. And we're talking small businesses, entrepreneurs. You know, there's a lot of you out there who are in business for yourself, and you're trying to make a go of it, as they say, and create streams of revenue for yourself. We like to refer to it as feeding the bulldog. That's what we call bill paying bills. You know, because if you don't feed that bulldog, he tends to bite you. So that's how we look at it. So we're trying to create a venue and an avenue for people to do business together. Because if you have the option to do business with a large corporation or with a entrepreneur, someone who's in business for themselves, personally, I would suggest that you seek out small business people and do business with them whenever that opportunity presents itself. And that's what this show is all about. That's what Club 100 is all about. And we encourage you to go over to our website on Facebook, and we're there. Just type in Club 100 there in your Facebook search. And tonight we've basically listed the articles that we'll be discussing and talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about stocks and stock investing. And that's why that ultimate question comes up. Should you be working for the money, or should your money be working for you? And so that's the question that we're going to try to answer here tonight. And we encourage you also to call in if you have any questions concerning investing in stocks for beginners. We'll be happy to answer those questions. We'll do everything we can to answer those. The number here is 214-494-9064. Give us a call here live on air. We'll be happy to as I said, to talk with you. We'll also be happy to talk about your business or your service that you have. Because, again, that's why we're here. We're here so that we can bring people together. We can do business and try to create revenue streams for the little guy. You know, we're for the underdog. You know, the big corporations, let's be frank, the big corporations run this country for the most part. The politicians, in many cases, vote in opposition or contrary to even what's in the best interest of those that vote for them and send them to serve in Washington, D.C., and they oftentimes settle on the side of the corporations. But so, as U.S. citizens, I think it's our duty to try to enhance what we call capitalism, and that's in America, you're supposed to be able to have the freedom to go out, offer a business a service, and to be able to employ people, to create monies and revenue for yourself. But again, that's what Club 100 is all about, and 100radiolive.com. I mean, that's why this station was founded and put here, because we want to highlight artists who are, we call them the grinders, people that are trying to come up, people that are on their way up. We have the mixtape, the Monday night mixtape marathon, where we feature mixtapes from artists from all over the country. So if you have a mixtape that you'd like to add to the rotation, feel free to send that in. That's 100radiolive at gmail.com. We'll be happy to add your mixtape to the rotation. And also just a parental advisory. The mixtapes are for mature audiences, adult audiences, because, in our opinion, or in the opinion of 100radiolive.com, music is a form of art, and sometimes art is not for the children, and so we do want to say that there's a parental advisory on mixtape marathon on Monday nights. Actually starts at Monday 12 a.m. and Monday 12 a.m. the mixed marathon starts. So we hope you'll tune in. If you have an artist or if you have a mixtape yourself, feel free to send that in. We'll be happy to highlight it, put it into the rotation so that people can hear what you're doing out there and expressing yourself, because after all, hip-hop was basically founded because people wanted to be heard, and specifically African-American males. There in New York City, where hip-hop was born, there was no other venue. There's no other place that these individuals could be heard, so they started the genre that we now call hip-hop. And so that's basically where we are right now. What we're going to do here, we're going to take a little music, and again, we like to use music as a way to how should you say, to massage the mental faculties. And so in this particular case, we have a little music from dirtbeats.com. We're going to use that, and we'll be back here in a few moments. We're going to talk stock investment for beginners. I'm Ed Wesley, and this is the Club 100 show on 100radiolive.com, and we'll be right back with you.
Ew, dirt beats. Ew. Dirt beats.
If you take a look at this 40-year run on the dollar is designed economically to lose money every single year. So why would you save something that loses money every year? And what this means for somebody on retirement plans is that after you retire, the value of your dollar goes down and your cost of living keeps going up. To my rich dad, that was bad advice and made no sense.
We sold it from 160.
We're back. You just heard Robert Kawasaki there from Rich Dad. He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he was talking about the dollar. Yeah, that dollar that everyone's chasing, getting up early, staying late, trying to make that dollar. And Robert Kawasaki says the dollar is built to depreciate. It's a depreciating asset, as they say. So if you're saving dollars, and you're putting dollars under your mattress or putting them in a can and burying them in the backyard, dollars are designed to lose value. And if you're not aware of it, there's a entity called the Federal Reserve Bank that literally prints money out of thin air. They print money on behalf of the United States government, which the government then borrows from that entity. And, of course, they print money at, I think the deficit right now is $17 trillion. It's north of $17 trillion. So basically, in a nutshell, the more money they print, the less value the money has. So again, the show tonight is about, should you be working for the money or should your money be working for you? And we want to tie that into investing in stocks and stock investment. We wanted to talk about how you can get started perhaps in creating a portfolio for yourself and putting that money to work that you may have saved or that you have. Because if you're like myself, you know, you have savings in the bank, and of course, what the banks are offering in savings. Have you looked at that lately? I mean, you go over to Bank of America, they're offering 0.08%. I mean, you might be able to get a little higher. Depends on the amount that you put in there. But you know, if it's under $10,000, I mean, if you're putting in under $10,000, if you have under 10, it's going to be 0.08 or something. I mean, if you go up over 10,000, or 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, you might be able to eke out 1.25 or 1.57 or something to that effect. And so let's just to give you an idea. If you were to, come across $10,000, you tripped over a bag and it was full of money, $10,000, and you took that $10,000 and you deposited it in a bank, let's say for at 1.25%. Let's be generous. We can give you 1.25%, and we're going to put it in there for 5 years. If you put that for 5 years, if you put in there $10,000 at 1.25%, first year you're going to have a whopping $126. Okay, that's what you're going to get the first year. The second year, you're going to be sitting at $253. That's what your $10,000 will turn into, $10,253. Okay, let's skip to the chase. If you by the time you get to the 5-year period or the 5-year point, you're going to have a total of you will have accumulated $644. And so, I mean, basically, the point that we're trying to make here is that if you have funds or monies that you're saving in a bank, that the growth potential for those funds are very, very slight. Well, let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's just say that you had a great year and you ended up in, say, the $50,000 range. Let's say that. Let's say if you had $50,000 that you wanted to put away, and let's see what that would look like. In this particular case, by the way, we have a interest rate calculator over on Club 100 Radio. On Club 100 Facebook page. If you go to the Club 100 Facebook page, we have a interest rate calculator there, so you can put in numbers and you can determine what it calculates out to. In this particular case, we're going to calculate $50,000, and again, we're going to be generous. We're going to go at 1.25%, which that's probably the range that you'll end up in. We also have over there on Club 100. Over there on the Facebook page, we have the top CD rates as well. Some of them go all the way up to 1.75. Well, here we're at 1.25 at $50,000. At 1 year, after 1 year, at that rate, you'd have $628. So $50,000 would turn into $628. That's it. That's all. That's it. Okay. And so this is the reason that we decided to do a show today about investment, because we like to invest in the market. Well, we have a particular stock that we're really fond of, and that is Kroger. Kroger, the supermarkets. Some of you may be familiar with it. Some of you may not be. But they have had a tremendous run since 2009. They looked Walmart in the eye and didn't blink. Walmart was running every retail grocer out of business, especially the mom and pops in small towns. Kroger looked Walmart in the eye and didn't blink. They turned up the heat and started to improve their stores, started to sell gas, and started to run a tight operation that continues to make money. And they are doing quite well. And in this particular case, Kroger is somewhere, your return on your investment with Kroger is somewhere in the 10.25 area. So let's put in 10.25 and let's see if what that $50,000 would have turned into if we had invested that into a stock portfolio that yielded 10.25% for the first year. Okay, that $50,000 would have turned into $55,325. So that first year on a 10.25%, your growth on that is $5,325. Okay, which is way more desirable than the 600. I think it was like 683 or something like that at 1.25%. So what we're talking about tonight is letting your money work for you versus you work for the money. And this is Ed Wesley. I am the host of Club 100 Radio Show, and I am also the director of Steger Youth Development and Texas Superstar Youth Sports, which are nonprofit organizations, and we like to talk nonprofit here. We like to encourage you to support nonprofit organizations, and as we always say, and we proudly say, that you don't have to necessarily support ours. I mean, we hope that you would, but we just ask you to seek out a nonprofit and have some philanthropic cause that you support, and that's what we ask. And so everyone, I think everyone should have some type of charity organization or some cause that they personally support, because our mantra at Steger Youth Development and Texas Superstar Youth Sports is that one person can truly make a difference. One person can make a difference. Sometimes we're waiting to see the herd rushing in one direction. We're waiting to see what everybody else does. Hey, we're not waiting for orders from headquarters. We're figuring out what needs to be done, and we're getting it done. In this particular case, we have the program that we're very proud of. It's the YASEC program, which we will be instituting coming up this fall, this football season, where we will be instituting an academic challenge to go along with the football schedule that youth organizations have. And so we're going to put these young people into academic competition right along with their athletic competition. And we feel that this program is going to create a different attitude about learning among youth football players here in the DFW area, starting out and throughout Texas eventually, and we surmise throughout the United States before we're finished. And so we want to help young people starting from 2nd through 7th grade. We're going to institute this program, and we're going to show young people that, hey, you can be a great athlete and you can be a great scholar at the same time. It's just a matter of having the same approach. Kids get out here and they practice hard. They give great effort. They become great football players, and we have no shortage of them here in Texas. I'll guarantee you that. We've got a lot of great football players here. But by the same token, we can have great scholars as well. We can have great academics. We can have kids that understand the value of education, and that's what we're focusing on, and that's the goal that we have at Steger Youth Development, DBA Texas Superstar Youth Sports. So like any nonprofit, in order for us to be successful, we need your help, and we hope that you will take the time to investigate our program, look into our organization, and support us. Help us launch this YASEC program. YASEC stands for Youth Academic Skills Empowerment Challenge, okay? And as I said before, we're going to plug into the existing football schedule of youth organizations a academic competition to go right along with the athletic competition that the kids engage in each Saturday. So please go to our website. It's tsysg.org. That's Texas Superstar Youth Sports Group.org, tsysg.org, and also YASEC.org. The site's not up yet, but it's coming soon. The developers are working on it right now. We're going to have a state-of-the-art site. It's going to have a social forum area where the kids can interact and build friendships. Each player or participant is going to have their own page, so that not only will the players be involved in athletic competition, academic competition, but they'll get a chance to know each other and find out a bit about each other and create lifelong friendships. And really, at the end of the day, that's the most critical thing, the lifelong friendships that we create through sports. And so we're going to add an academic quotient to that particular equation, and we know it's going to be a tremendous hit, and we look forward to it. Now, again, this is Club 100 Show. I'm your host, Ed Wesley, and we're talking about trading stocks tonight. We're going to talk about stocks for beginners. Now, one of the critical things that you need to do if you're going to get involved in the stock market is that you need to understand how to do your research. Now, one of the best resources, tools that I use personally is a website called FinViz. It's www.finviz.com. That's FINVIZ.com, FinViz. And you can go there and you can put in information about a particular stock. You can look at any stock. As a matter of fact, the site has the stocks categorized as the top gainers, the top losers, the stocks that are oversold, the ones that are undersold, the ones that have the most recent high, or a new high, I should say, and the ones that have a new low. So you kind of get an overview of the different stocks that are there, and you can look up any stock on any of the exchanges and do your research. Now, one of the things that we want to talk about tonight, and we also posted over on Club 100 Facebook page, we posted an article out of Investopedia, the 4 basic elements of stock value. So that's the first thing you want to do is before you choose a stock, you want to determine what the value of that stock is, because you just don't want to go out there willy-nilly and purchase a stock, because every stock that you purchase is not going to turn around and give you 10.25% like Kroger has since December. I did my research, I put in the information, and then I picked stocks on FinViz, and I put them in a portfolio, which you can do that, and I watched those stocks over a period of time. And so by the 1st of December, I determined that Kroger, based on its performance and what it had done and the different, the 4 basic elements, that it was a good stock, so I chose it. And, of course, we opened up our portfolio with a broker. In this case, it was Merrill Lynch. I only did that because I'm a Bank of America person. A lot of you may be with Bank of America. You may not. But, there's different brokers out there. There's E-Trade TD Ameritrade. There's countless. There's Charles Schwab. There's no shortage of brokers out there that you can go open up an account and purchase stock through that broker. Now, the first thing that you want to do is you want to understand the 4 basic elements of a stock's value. The ancient Greeks proposed earth, fire, water, and air as the main building blocks of all matter and classified all things as a mixture of these elements. And so it's the same thing with stocks. You want to look at the 4 basic elements. In the case of the earth that we live here, it's the ground, fire, water, and the air. But in the stocks, it's a little bit different. Now, investing has a similar set of 4 basic elements that investors use to break down a stock's value. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at those 4 particular elements. Now, the first element, and again, you can find this information on the Club 100 page there on Facebook, because we posted the link to it. The first element that we want to look at is, we'll call it Earth, which is the price-to-book ratio, or some people refer to it as the P&B, price-to-book. Okay, made for glass half-empty people, the price-to-book ratio represents the value of the company if it is torn up and sold today. Okay, what would it be worth? If you were to dismantle a company, break it down, and sell off all its parts, what would it be worth? And that's going to include any debt that they have as well. This is useful to know because many companies in mature industries falter in terms of growth but can still be good value based on their assets. The book value usually includes equipment, buildings, land, and anything else that can be sold, including stock holdings and bonds. With purely financial firms, the book value can fluctuate with the market, as these stocks tend to have a portfolio of assets that go up and down in value. Industrial companies tend to have a book value based more on physical assets, which depreciate year after year according to accounting rules. In either case, a low P&B ratio, which is price to book, can protect you, but only if it's accurate. This means an investor has to look deeper into the actual assets making up the ratio. So that's number one thing. And that's the great thing about finviz.com. Finviz.com, you can go over there, and it's going to have the P&B for any company that you look up. And you can see how low it is and see what the ratio is. Is it high or is it low? And so, we're looking for a low P&B ratio, which is price to book. And basically, if we were to break that company down and sell it off, what would it be worth? Do they have so much debt that once you break down all these assets and sell it, there's nothing left? Yeah, those are the kind of companies, companies that are operating with a lot of debt. Yeah, you may not want to, may not be the best choice for investment. But we're going to talk about some companies tonight that you might want to look into and research because they're up and coming companies. And so that's the first part of the stock equation that you want to look at is the price to book, the P&B, or we'll call it in this case the earth part of it. Okay. Well, what we're going to do right here, we're going to get us a little bit more music. We're featuring Dirt Beats tonight. All right. And Dirt, we want to shout out to Dirt, too, who is the program director at 100. Well, he's everything here. He's the program director, the director of operations, and he does a great job, and we appreciate the fact that he gave us this opportunity. I am Ed Wesley. I'm your host for the Club 100 show, and this is 100radiolive.com, where we give 100% and we keep it 100, and we'll be right back here after a little Dirt Beats.
you take a look at this 40-year run on the dollar, the dollar is designed economically to lose money every single year. So why would you save something that loses money every year? And what this means for somebody on retirement plans is that after you retire, the value of your dollar goes down and your cost of living keeps going up. To my rich dad, that was bad advice and made no sense.
We sold it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Ed Wesley, your host here on 100radiolive.com. That was Robert Kiyosaki. You may have heard of him. He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he is an entrepreneur, business type. And he talks about the devaluation of the dollar, how the dollar itself, by nature, is a depreciating asset. And what do you mean by that? Well, again, if you know about the Federal Reserve system and the fractional banking system, is that they basically print money out of thin air. I am Ed Wesley. I am your host here for 100radiolive.com. This is the Club 100 show. Club 100 is a business networking group. We're there on Facebook. You can type in Club 100. I hope you'll join by liking the page. Like the page if you're a business person, you have a business or service. Please post your information there. That's what we're here for. We're here to do business, to network, and bring people together so that we can create revenue streams and we can basically circulate the dollar amongst the group. You know, with Club 100, which was a creation of 100radiolive.com, what our goal is to bring people together so that, let's say, for instance, you are a Club 100 member, okay? And you have an event. It could be an entertainment event. It could be a business event, social event. Doesn't matter. We want to be in a position to where we can put the call out for other Club 100 members to show up at your event. You know, we want to be able to show up, 50 deep, 60 deep, 100 deep, and not only show up, but if you have a service or a business we want to purchase, and we not only want to show up, we want to show up, and if you have something that we need, we want to make you the first in line for our purchase. And that's what we're trying to create here with Club 100, because 100radiolive.com itself was created to highlight the grinders, the people that are trying to come up in the music business. You're in there sweating, and you're writing and composing and putting your work together and just trying to get heard. And I mean, everybody has to start somewhere, and so we wanted to be a platform, a launch platform for new artists, for people that are trying to come up. You don't have to be a music artist. Perhaps you make maybe you make soap or perfumes, or there's any number of businesses. We also have Dirt in the Streets TV. Dirt goes around all the time in Dallas, throughout Dallas, and highlights businesses and puts them on Dirt in the Streets TV and highlights what they do and create buzz and marketing opportunities for those companies. That's what we do. So, hey, don't sleep on 100radiolive.com. You should become a part of it just the same as you should become a part of 100 or Club 100, because as I said before, there's more power in a group than there is in just a single individual. Although we do believe that one person can make a difference. But again, like our Club 100 on Facebook, also go to our 100radiolive.com page and see what we have to offer. Tonight, if you want to talk stocks, you can give us a call here. We're 214-494-9064. I am here. I'll be happy to talk with you about investment for beginners. The first thing, when we left, we were talking about the 4 elements that we want to look into when we get ready to get involved in stocks. Because, again, as I noted in the beginning of the show, if you've got money sitting in a savings account in some bank, and that money is it's safe. You might say, well, yeah, it's safe. It's FDIC insured, and nothing's going to happen to it. Yeah, it is safe, I guess you could say, and unless the banks collapse and there's a run on it. But the point that we're trying to make tonight is that should you be working for the money, or should the money be working for you? because many of these savings accounts are 0.08%. Some of them are less. Some of them are a little bit more. Some of them even get up over 1%, like 1.25 or something to that effect. But if you pick the right stock, if you do your research and pick the right stock, I mean, some of these stocks are up over 10%. You can average 10, 11, 12, up to 14% on your funds. And, we have a calculator over on Club 100 Facebook page where you can calculate it. And we did it earlier. We calculated $50,000 at 10% if you were to find the right stock, like let's say Kroger, because I offer Kroger because personally I've seen 10% on Kroger since December. What's this, March? Yeah, last day of March. And it's been at 10.25%. So let's just say that we had $50,000 at 10.25%. By year's end, that's $5,000. That's $5,325. Understand? And so that's a pretty good return on monies right there. We could live with that. But by the same token, let's just say if we had it in a safe savings account, it's safe and put away there, nobody's going to bother it. That same $50,000 would yield you at 1.25% for the year. It would yield you $628. So do you see the difference in that? $628 versus over $5,300. And so that's what we're talking about here. That's why the question that we ask is such a pivotal question. Are you working for the money, or is your money working for you? Okay? Now, the last, when we went on break, and again, the number here is 214-494-9064. I am Ed Wesley, your host. This is 100radiolive.com, and this is the Club 100 show, and we're talking stock investment for beginners tonight. Now, we talked about the four basic elements of a stock's value, how to determine which stock to pick. Now, the Greeks compared the four building blocks of the earth as earth, fire, water, and air. Okay, and so we just dealt with the first one before we went on break, which was the earth quotient of the equation, and that was the price to book. The next part is the fire, and that's the price to earnings. So that's one of the other things you want to look for. And again, this article is posted on Facebook on the Club 100 page, and that is the price to earnings ratio is the next thing you want to look for when you're picking a stock. We use the site finviz.com, and that's finviz, www.finviz.com, and you can go in there and put this information into Finviz, and you can choose stocks and do your research, and then, of course, make your investment. Now, price to earnings ratio. The price to earnings ratio is possibly the most scrutinized of all the ratios. If sudden increase in a stock's price or sizzle, then the price to earnings ratio is the stake. Okay? A stock can go up in value without significant earnings increase, but the P&E ratio, or the price to earnings, is what decides if it could stay up. Without earnings to back up the price, a stock will eventually fall down. Okay, so the price to earnings is critical. So when we go in there, that finviz.com, and we start doing our research and looking at stocks, we want to put a heavy weight on that price to earnings. Now, the reason for this is simple. A price to earnings ratio can be thought of as how long a stock will take to pay back your investment if there is no change in the business. Okay? A stock trading at $20 per share with earnings of $2 per share has a price to earnings ratio of 10, which is sometimes seen as meaning that you'll make your money back in 10 years if nothing changes. The reason stocks tend to have high P&E, high price to earnings ratios, is that investors try to predict which stocks will enjoy progressively larger earnings, double its earnings every year, shortening the payout period significantly. If this fails to happen, then the stock will fall back down to a more reasonable P&E ratio. If the stock does manage to double earnings, then it will likely continue to trade at a high P&E ratio. You should only compare P&E ratios between companies in similar industries and markets. If these numbers have you in the dark, these easy calculations should help you see the way. And that's what finviz.com is for. See, this particular case, you're looking for a high. You want a high P&E. You want to look for a high price to earnings ratio. That way, the money that you invest, you know it's going to be coming back to you in a quicker fashion. The companies with a lower price to earnings, yeah, they're not going to make you the money. They're not going to be up in that 10 percentile return and up like stocks like Kroger and so forth. You've got Kroger, which is a great stock. You've got, of course, Apple. You got Google, another great stock. And so far, what we've done is we've discussed price to book ratio. That's what we want to look for at finviz.com. We want to also look at the price to earnings ratio because that lets us know how quick we're going to retrieve the money that we invested. Now, the other part of that earth, fire, and air, the air is represented by the PEG ratio. The PEG is the price to earnings growth. Because the PE ratio isn't enough and in of itself, many investors use the price to earnings growth. That's the PEG, the PEG ratio. Instead of merely looking at the price and earnings, the PEG ratio incorporates the historical growth rate of the company's earnings. This ratio also tells you how your stock stacks up against other stock. The PEG ratio is calculated by taking the PE ratio of a company and dividing it by the year-over-year growth rate of its earnings. The lower the value of the PEG ratio, the better the deal you're getting for the stock's future estimated earnings. Okay? By comparing two stocks using the PEG, you can see how much you're paying for growth in each case. A PEG of 1 means you're breaking even if growth continues as it has in the past. A PEG of 2 means you're paying twice as much for projected growth when compared to a stock with a PEG of 1. This is speculative because there is no guarantee that growth will continue as it has in the past. The PE ratio is a snapshot of where a company is, and the PEG ratio is a graph plotting where it has been. Armed with this information, an investor has to decide whether it is likely to continue in that direction or not. So this is all part of the process of determining which stock for you to buy. And like most things, anything that's easy is usually not worthwhile. Does this take a little work? Yeah, it does, because you want to make sure that you choose the right stock so that you can, again, have your money working for you instead of you working for the money. But not to worry, because there's so many tools out there. There's so many resources for you to use. www.finviz.com, finviz.com is a tremendous resource. I used it myself personally to pick the stock that I choose. And I took my lumps in the beginning. I bought some stocks that I shouldn't have bought because I didn't do the research initially. But then after I finally figured out what I was doing and learning to look at the price to earnings and the other information, like I said, we posted over on Club 100 Facebook page. We posted the information that we've been sharing with you so that you can use that information to go out and pick a stock. And then, you want to take your savings. You want to, take part of it and invest in the market so that money can work for you versus you working for the money. But again, you want to be cautious and you want to be careful by doing the necessary research so that you don't end up losing, monies that you can't afford to lose. Anytime you go into the market, you basically want to use money that you can perhaps afford to lose. I mean, I wouldn't take and put every single penny, mortgage, cash out my mortgage and put every single penny into stocks. No, I wouldn't do that. But I think a portion of your funds you can use in the stock market because the return is tremendous. And I know that personally myself because I bought the Kroger stock back in early December, and it's been huge. Like I said, it's been over 10.25%, and which I am very happy in that particular case. I think today Kroger closed out at about $76.33. It's been all the way up this year to like $77.20 $77.24. I think it's been the high this year of $77.24. But I think back when I bought it, it was somewhere in the area of 66, 67. So you can see that was just only back in December. So, again, it's all about doing your research, okay? Get out there, do your research, find your stock, and then find a broker and make that purchase, because it can certainly be better than what's happening with your savings accounts. I am Ed Wesley, your host here. This is the Club 100 show. We're talking stocks tonight. I want to thank you for tuning in. Again, this is 100radiolive.com, where we give 100% and we keep it 100. We're going to go out with a little music. This is dirtbeats.com, and this is, again, the Club 100 show. We'll be right back.
If you take a look at this 40-year run on the dollar is designed economically to lose money every single year. So why would you save something that loses money every year? And what this means for somebody on retirement plans is that after you retire, the value of your dollar goes down and your cost of living keeps going up. To my rich dad, that was bad advice and made no sense.
We sold it from 100.
Welcome back. That was Robert Kawasaki, who is the author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You may be familiar with it. He talked about the state and condition of the dollar. The dollar is designed to depreciate. In other words, you've got to find a way to get your money to work for you, because money in a dormant savings account or in a can buried out in the backyard and it's not working and appreciating, it's not really doing you that much good. Because if you'll notice, food and everything, well, people think the food is going up. They say, well, the prices of food. No, it's not the price of the food or groceries or gas that's going up. It's the value of the dollar that's going down. Because if you know anything about fractional banking, and I advise you tonight, as soon as you can, or whatever the case, to find out what fractional banking is, because what happens with the banks, and starting with the Federal Reserve Bank, which many of you know is not a federal institution, it's a private institution, and they print money on behalf of the U.S. government, which many people think is unconstitutional. You know, many people feel it's unconstitutional. But that's a whole nother story. We won't get into that tonight. But the more money that they print, the less value the dollar has. And that's why many people are so upset with the fact that the United States of America is basically running an empire. The U.S. government, the United States of America, has over 900 military bases in 130 countries. I mean, that's an empire that the U.S. taxpayer has to pay for. Now, if you know the current situation, we have a over $17 trillion deficit that has been run up, which the U.S. taxpayer is responsible for, which means that if you have a little 3-week-old baby or 3-week-old baby, I should say, that child already has a tax bill already. I mean, the kids that aren't even born already have a tax bill that they because of the deficit spending that's been taking place these number of years. And you know, we have the politicians who they talk this great game about responsibility, and you know, they want you to be responsible now. They want you to obey the laws. They want you to be responsible. They want you to be a great citizen. But when it comes their time to do the right thing and to cut some of this spending so that your dollar will have more value, they can't seem to get that done. Okay, and so it's time for us as citizens to try to figure this thing out. I mean, are you one of those people that sticks their head in the sand and say, well, if I don't know about it, it won't bother me, or, you know, it won't hurt me if I don't know? Well, I mean, it kind of does hurt you, because if anybody that goes to the grocery store, or if you have to buy clothing, or if you have children to feed and to clothe, you know, you are being affected by the current policies that are currently in place. And that's why we ask you to look into the Federal Reserve System, look into fractional banking, understand who is pulling the strings, understand why some of the policies that we currently see are in place. Then you'll get to understand why are we always in some type of a conflict, military conflict, always in some portion of the planet. We're always in some type of a conflict. And, you know, what's the reason for that? Are there people benefiting from military contracts, from logistic contracts? You know, these are legitimate questions. And so is it proper and is it right that the U.S. government should print money out of thin air and spend on running an empire? Or should the focus be on taking care of the United States within its borders and its citizens therein? Should that be the main focus of our government? But like I said, that's a whole different show. And tonight we're talking about stock investment. And we made it easy for you tonight because we posted all the information over on Club 100 page on Facebook. And we're hoping that you'll go to Club 100. And, of course, I am Ed Wesley, your host, the Club 100 show. You can give us a call here. The number is 214-494-9064. We're talking stocks and investment in stocks. We gave you a tremendous resource for you to do your research, which is finviz.com. I love that site because I can go over there. I can look at any stock that I want. I can look at the P&E, the PEG, the P&B. I can look at all of the different elements of that stock and determine if it's a stock that I want to purchase or not. We also have a calculator, interest calculator, over on the Club 100 page as well. So get your bank statement out. Take a look at the interest that you're getting on your savings account, okay? Take a look at that interest. Use that calculator to put it in there and see how much you're actually getting on your return. Now, I know a lot of us don't have $50,000 or $60,000 in savings. Yeah, well, maybe I shouldn't say. maybe you do out there. Maybe you are stacking it away like that. But in any event, whatever you have, you should be trying to put that money to work. And one of the ways that I found to do that is by doing my research, doing my due diligence, and investing in the stock market. Now, is the stock market risky? Yeah, almost definitely. Some people say it's even rigged. But at the same time, there are certain technical aspects of stocks that cannot be manipulated. And so that's why there's certain companies, when the technicals check out, like the what we talked about, the price to earnings ratios, and when this information checks out, you can feel pretty good about your investment, because if the if the price to earnings ratio is in line, if the price to book is in line, and so forth and so on, if those four elements, and the fifth element, or the fourth element, by the way, we talked about, let's see here, what was that fourth element? Let's see here. Yeah, the fourth element was the price to earnings ratio. Okay, that was the price to earnings. And so if and again, the article is posted over on the Club 100 page there on Facebook. So when all of these particular elements are in line, the four elements are in line, you can feel pretty safe about the decision or the choice that you make. And I mean, that's what I did personally. I got to looking at my bank statement and my bank account, and I'm like, wow, I mean, it's great to have some savings, but man, I mean, this money is like sitting there and it's doing nothing. While at the same time, the groceries are going up, the clothes are going up. Can I say the gas is going up? Nah, I guess I can't say that right now. I think the gas is down because I think the U.S. and Russia are kind of playing a little game with the gas. They're trying to, Russia's not buying that gas with dollars. They're trying to go their own way. So the U.S. is trying to depress the gas prices, which turns out good for us, good for the consumer. They're trying to depress the gas prices to try to run the Russians out of business. Good luck. Good luck, Uncle Sam. Hey, it's hard for me to complain about that one, because the gas prices have been down there for a while, because we were, right at $4 for a long time. But in any event, it seems that the cost of living keeps going up, but the interest rate on your savings account, or your CD in that case, is almost nil to nothing. And so a lot of us, those of us that are trying to figure out, hey, what can I do? How can I be smart here? And one of the things that many people are choosing is to invest in the stock market. But again, the stock market is risky. I'm not saying it's not. That's why we put the information on Club 100 page, resources for you to be able to go in and do research. We also use the Forbes website to post some promising companies like Instacart out of California, which is a service company. They got 100 employees right now. But see, this is the thing with the stock market, and with being a stock investor, you want to identify companies. Like, can you imagine if you had identified Google back in the day and say, you know what, I think I'm going to buy a few hundred shares of that Google. And if you had bought a few hundred shares of that Google back in the time, and you were sitting on 100 shares of Google right now, wow, you'd be looking pretty good. So if we go over to the Club 100 Facebook page, you'll see that we listed an article of America's most promising companies, like Suja Juice. I kind of looked at that one. I thought that was interesting. Suja Juice is a company that makes this organic product called Suja. I guess it's Suja Juice. It's an organic beverage. Right now, they're a $42 million company. They got a couple hundred employees. But again, this game is kind of like if you watch the NFL draft, you're trying to pick players that are gonna show promise. So you got to look at all the different elements. So when you go over to finviz.com and you'll put these stocks in, look these stocks up, you'll take a look at their the four elements, their price to book, their PEGs, and you'll determine if you want to jump on board for the ride. Because Suja, which is a organic juice, that it's a company that makes organic juice, and they've got about 205 employees right now. They were founded back in 2012, and they're selling an organic beverage. Now, we know that a lot of people are gravitating toward organics now. So, a company like that's the thing that you want to do. You try to project what companies may be successful based on the line of business that they're in. And so that's one of the companies that we looked at there and said, we're rubbing our brow and we're going like, that might be a good look. But there's a whole list of companies that are listed here, like Panjo. There's another company that's listed. It's also a company out of California, and they also it's a services company as well. And let's see here what Panjo. What are they all about? According to the information here, they had about $42 million in revenue. They've got right now 10 employees. They only got 10 employees. They were founded in 2012 as well. And they're the number 7 most promising most promising company in the country. Okay? And what they do is, let's see here. Panjo is a network of hobbyists to connect and buy and sell items to one another. Founder CEO Chad Billmeyer, Tom Gherking, Juan Vasconez have seen revenues blossom while having taken less than $2 million in growth capital. So they have a network of hobbyists that connect and buy and sell items to one another. Okay. That had $42 million in revenue, so I guess there's something there. But, yeah, they're listed at number 7. It's the number 7th most promising company in the country. But there's a whole list of companies here. And that's the thing about the stock game, that if you like information, if you like being in the know, if you like, knowing things, I know some people celebrate ignorance. Some people celebrate being stupid. I mean, but to me, not so much. I mean, I like information. I like to be in the know. And if you're going to start trade stocks, that's one of the things that you're going to have to do, is be in the know and be ready to have be ready to do the research and get the information before you put your money on the line. But anyway, I'm encouraging you to go over to our Facebook page, Club 100, and take a look at some of these companies. You got cardcash.com, which is a company out of New Jersey. It's a trading company. You've got iCracked, which is another California services company. I'm kind of interested in that. What is iCracked? Let's take a look at iCracked and what they're having to offer. It looks like they had about $25 million in revenue in 2000 so far in 2015. That's as of January 2015. They were founded back in 2010. So since 2010, they've had about $25 million in revenue. And they're ranked number 18th as the most promising company in the U.S. right now. And they run a network of Apple repair specialists across the U.S. Okay, so they, I see. iCrack, that made sense. What they do is repair Apple products. Now that could be a company that might be worth investing in. But again, we're going to go over and look at the PEG. We're going to look at the PB. We're going to look at all the information, the 4 elements, and to try to determine if that's a company that we want to jump on. Because remember the way the stock game works. You want to identify a company early when it's small, and you want to jump on, and you want to take that ride. You know what I mean? If you had got onto Apple, just imagine if you had got onto Apple back in the time when they were a small company, and now they're trading at, what is the Apple stock trading at now? I should have that information. I don't, but I'll post it on at Club 100. But I know it's way over $100. And but in any event, that's how the stock game is played: is identifying companies that can be successful, and then getting online or buying into those companies. And oftentimes, when you get in there early, you can buy in there cheap. For instance, let's say if you had let's take Kroger, because I love Kroger as a stock. Let's say if you had bought into Kroger when it was $26, okay? And now, you had bought 100 shares at $26, okay? And now it's trading at $77. Do you understand? Do you see what the see the situation? And so this is how you can have a situation where your money is working for you instead of you working for the money. And that's what we're trying to encourage here. And so we're hoping that you will take a look at the information that we posted on Club 100. We hope that you will like the Club 100 page there on Facebook and get involved. I mean, if you have a business, if you know someone that has a business, I don't care if it's selling Ambit Energy, I don't care if it's selling Avon, Mary Kay, whatever, doesn't matter, Herbalife, whatever. If you know someone that's that has a business, tell them about 100radiolive.com and what we're doing here at Club 100. Okay, let's take a quick break. Let's listen to some more of the Dirt beats. Because you know what, Dirt is a music producer. He's a entertainer. He's a TV guy that gets out into the neighborhoods at Dirt TV and Dirt in the Streets TV. And so we like to highlight his music here because I know a lot of you out there are secret rappers. You're like secret rappers and you have a rap career that nobody knows about. So if you ever need any beats or anything like that, you need to holler at your boy Dirt because he can put you on. This is Ed Wesley. This is the Club 100 show. And we will be back here in a moment. Remember, at 100radiolive.com, we're giving 100% and we're keeping it 100. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's that dirtbeats.com. Welcome back. This is Ed Wesley, Club 100 radio show. We want to thank you. We're getting ready to wrap it up here. It was a great show. We had a lot of great information regarding stock investment for beginners, and we provided you with some tools there on our Facebook page there at Club 100. We hope you'll go there. We hope you'll look at that information. We hope you'll talk to other people because really the purpose of this show tonight was to talk about how you should have your money working for you versus you just working for the money. I mean, working for money is great. I mean, that's the the American way. But the really, really successful people are the ones that have their money working for them. Again, I'm Ed Wesley. I'm also the director of Steger Youth Development. We DBA is Texas Superstar Youth Sports Group. And, we're a nonprofit organization. And nonprofits, we exist because of the help and support of people of goodwill. So we hope that you'll go to our webpage, tsysg.org. Also our Facebook page, Texas Superstar Youth Sports Group, and the Steger Youth Development Group page. like our pages, help support us. We've got a tremendous program that's going to be launched this upcoming football season, the YASEC program, which is the Youth Academic Skills Empowerment Challenge, where we're going to help youth football players here in the state of Texas, starting in DFW, to become more proficient academically. And we've all know the stories of football players who excel athletically, but then have a tremendous deficiency on the academic side. So we want to address that issue because we feel that we can make a difference with these young people by showing them that they can be just as competitive academically the same way they are athletically. It's just a matter of time management. It's just a matter of understanding how to study. It's a matter of decision making. We're also going to include in this program, which is tremendous. I could talk about it all day because it's such a great program. It's also going to include concussion avoidance, and that's one of the things that's threatening youth football and football in general. You know, you got pro football players who are quitting the game because they fear getting concussions and the health problems that they might incur because of the fact that they're taking blows to the head. So that's why we're going to include concussion avoidance information, and we're also going to promote a rugby shoulder tackling, and which is one of the things that the Seattle Seahawk organization is really high on. We know that they have a really good football team, good defense as well. They get people on the ground, and that's what it should be. I mean, football, hey, just get them on the ground. You don't have to blow them up. You know, as a youth football coach myself for a lot of years, I understand that, a lot of coaches are teaching kids to blow up other players. They got players running into each other from 10 yards away and running into each other. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And we're going to, put an end to that. The NFL is working with youth football as well to try to keep players from using their heads, trying to re-educate coaches, and we want to be part of that as well. We're hoping that you will help us at Steger Youth Development. That's Texas Superstar Youth Sports Group. And we also ask that you support 100radiolive.com, which is a smoking hot station. We're going to, this last Dirt Beats presentation, I think I'm going to go out with it because, it kind of struck a nerve with me right here. But in any event, we want you to support 100radiolive.com because remember, as I said before, we're here for the grinders. We're here for the underdog. We don't throw shade. We want you to shine. So if you have a mixtape, send it to us so we can put it in the mixtape marathon every Monday that we have. If you have a MP3 that you want to highlight, send it to us. Send it along with your MP3, your graphic, and bio, so we can put that information out there and we can let other people see it because, hey, there's enough of a shine for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's enough for everybody, and we're here to make sure that you reach your goals and your dreams, because if you reach your goals and reach your dreams, that means that we will have too. And I want to say good night to you. I am Ed Wesley, the Club 100 show here, the Club 100 radio show, rather. And we are just so happy that we can have the opportunity to bring this information to you. And remember, Club 100 on Facebook. Go like the page and get involved. Do business with small businesses and help everyone succeed. Have a good night. 100 Radio Live, where we give 100% and we keep it 100.